Am I audible to you? Yes or no? Okay, perfect. So can you guys hear me? Yes or no? Give me a final confirmation, please. Can you guys hear me? Perfect. Awesome. So welcome to day 3. Uh really sorry for the day 2 yesterday and day before yesterday. We have got some glitches. So we are going to continue from today itself. Okay? Is it clear? Okay. Perfect. Awesome. So now, yesterday we were talking about data structure, right? Yesterday we were talking about data structure. So let's revise what we have studied. That if I ask you what is a data structure, so can anyone tell me what they think about the term data structure? What do you know about the term data structure? Anyone? Anyone? Come on. What is data structure? Cool. So data structure is the way of storing a data, managing a data, arrangement of data, and organizing a data, right? And in the Python, we have different data structures, right? We have studied about the 4 data structures that we currently have in Python. That is your list, tuple, dictionary, and set, right? So we were talking about list, and we have seen how exactly it is different from array, right? Can anyone tell me that how list is different from array? How Python list is different from array? Anyone? Can anyone tell me the difference between Python list and the array? List has many data type. Okay, exactly. So list contains heterogeneous data, whereas array contains homogeneous data, right? Homogeneous means data of same data type. Heterogeneous means data of different data types. So over here you can see this is an array. It contains the data of same data type, and over here the data type is integer, right? However, if you look onto the list, you will going to find out that it contains data of different data type. So this one is your integer, 1.0 is your float, then you have string, and then you have boolean. Okay, so that's the use of list. Now we have seen what is a list, how to create a list. Now whenever you want to create a list, you have to make sure that you put your data or datas within the square bracket. Okay, within the square bracket, right? So whenever you want to define a list, let's say you have a variable and you want to define a list, so you need to make sure that whatsoever data you put in or the elements, it should be inside this square bracket. Okay, right? So similarly, in yesterday we were talking about the real life example of a list, how we make a list in a real life world, right? Now if you want to convert this in a Python list, what we have to do is, first, all these are data, right? All these are data. So what I have done is I have put all the data inside the square bracket. Okay, okay, till here is this clear? Yes or no? Perfect. Now over here, if you see this potatoes, peas, tomatoes, beans, and apple, they are the elements, right? And these are the data. So and the data type of this data is a string. So this element should be enclosed within the inverted commas. Yes or no? And then we have to separate it commas. So let's write like this. Okay. And now this is a perfect list. This is a perfect Python list. Okay, if you want to try this out, let's try this. Let's copy. and let's define veggies. Okay, so over here this veggies, it's our variable, this is our assignment operator, and this is your entire list, right? So earlier what happened is, whenever you have studied about variables in the previous class, right, so you must have seen that this is a variable and the variable contains the value, right? But it cannot happen is that you cannot assign two or more values to a variable at the same time, right? So the rule of defining a variable is that a variable can contain only a single value. Variable can contain only a single value. So what will going to happen if you want to have multiple values to be assigned to a variable? So you have to create multiple variables, right? You have to create variable 1, variable 2, and so on and so forth. You have to create variable till n, right? So what we have done is that if you are using this approach, it will going to consume lot of memory, right? It will going to consume a lot of memory, your code will be lengthier. So that's why to provide the solution, we have came out with a data structure. So over here if you see, this is your variable, and according to the rule of variable, a variable can assign only a single value. So over here you can see this is a single value, this entirely is a single value. So that means we are not violating the term, we are not violating the term of the variables, right? So let's run this. And now if I run, now let's say veggies, you're going to see all the items in a list has been displayed. If you want to check the data type of the variable veggies, so what do you think will be the data type? If I use the command type veggies, so what do you think will be the data type of the variable veggies? What will be the data type of the variable veggies? Come on. It's a list, exactly. Okay, so the data type will be a list. Over here you can see this is a list. Okay, now the question arises that you have defined a list, okay, and this list contain multiple values, right? But how about if you no, it won't be a string, it won't be a string, it will be a list. Okay, elements are string. Okay, these elements, the elements inside a list are strings, right? However, this entirely is a list. And how do we know that this is a list? Because all of the data or all of the element is being enclosed within the square bracket. Till here it's clear? Till here it's clear? Yes or no? Is this clear till here? Yes or no? Okay, perfect. Now, since we have defined a lot of elements, now the concept comes up how you can access the element, right? Like suppose if I want to have the element as piece, right? But every time if I print veggies, what will going to happen? All the element will be shown up. And your requirement is you have to print a specific element such as beans, apple, tomatoes, and so on and so forth. So to tackle this up, we have a concept called as indexing and slicing. Okay, now what exactly is this indexing and what exactly is this slicing? Let's understand with an example. Let's suppose we have a school. Okay, we have a school and we have a company over here. This is a company. Okay, now what happened is that this company has organized a hackathon, right? And a student who belongs to this school stand out to be as the first position. So what happened is that this company CEO, the company CEO calls a peon. Okay, they call a peon and told him that you have to go to this school. Okay, you have to go to this school and you have to bring a boy named Yash. Okay, is the scenario clear to you? Is this scenario clear to you till here? Yes or no? Okay. Yes or no? Come on. Perfect. Now what happened is that this peon went to the school and searched for the student Yash, and he found out that there are, let's suppose, uh, 23, there are 23 students whose name is Yash. Okay, it is very difficult for the peon to identify which Yash the CEO was talking about. So what happened? He returned back to CEO and he told him that give me something specific so that I can recognize the guy that you want, right? So what happened is the CEO told the peon that okay, his name is Yash and he studied in 12th standard. Okay, now we have two clues. Now we have two clues. One is Yash, and the student studies in 12th standard. So what happened? The peon again went to the school and searched for that particular Yash st- who is studying in 12th standard. Now he got to know that there are two Yash, there are two Yash that they are studying in different section, right? In school we have a different section as well, right? A section A, section B, C, D, and so on and so forth. It might happen that, and a lot of time it happens that a class contain two students with the same name, or some different section people are containing same name, right? Now again there's a confusion that uh, we have two Yash. Now, which of the Yash that the CEO is referring to? Now, what happened is the peon gets back to the CEO and tell him that kindly give me something specific. Kindly give me something specific so that I can easily identify the student you are referring to. So now what happened is the CEO provides the admission number. The CEO provides the admission number of that particular student. Now, do you think that it will be easy for the peon to find out the specific Yash? Yes or no? Will it be easier? Will it be easier to find that particular student? Yes or no? Right? Because we know that doesn't matter how many students studies in that particular school, admission number for a particular student is absolutely different. It will never be a case that two or more students have the same admission number, right? It can happen that two or more students can have same name, they might be studying in same standard or even in same class itself, right? But it will never going to happen is that a two student or more student will be having the same admission number, because this admission number is unique, right? It is absolutely unique. Okay, the same case is indexing. Same case is indexing. Okay, indexing means to address something with the respect of some ID, or more specifically we can call this as a unique ID. Okay, so what happened is whenever we define our data, let's suppose we have a data as hello world, right? Now what is the data type of this data? What is the data type of this data? Come on, let's see who will going to answer this one. What is the data type of this data? Let's see who will going to answer this. It's a string. Perfect. Awesome. So now what happened is whenever you define any data, any value or any element, okay, so each character over here, if you see, this is one character, H is one character, E is one character, then we have L and O, then space. Each character that has been stored contains a specific value. Okay, it contains a specific value, right? So over here this age contains some specific value. And one thing that you need to remember, this is also an interview question, that in Python the indexing starts from 0. In many other languages as well, indexing starts from 0. In Python the indexing starts from 0. What exactly does this mean when I say indexing starts from 0? During your school times or whenever you have studied mathematics, you might have studied this kind of stuff. Graph theory, you might have studied about graph theory, right? In that graph we make some axis or coordinates, so we have 0 in between. Then on the right hand side we have all the positive numbers, right? And on left hand side we have some negative numbers. Yes or no? You might have studied graph during your school times or in college, right? On the right hand side, we have all the positive numbers, and on the left hand side, we have all the negative numbers. Till here, is it clear? Yes or no? Yes or no? Okay. Now, now that we know that 0 is neither positive nor negative, 0 is neither positive nor negative. So what we do is that we put a line over here. We put a line over here. Okay. Now on the right hand side, this is a positive side. We are considering 0 as a positive. Okay. In this case. And on the left hand side, we have all the negative values. So over here, you can see when we talk about the positive indexing. So indexing starts from 0. You can see the indexing starts from 0. Yes or no? Right? Indexing starts from 0. So that's what it means when we say in Python indexing starts from 0. It means the first character or the first element will be having the index value of 0. Okay, and so on and so forth. So E will going to contain 1, this L will going to contain 2, and this L will going to contain 3. Then it will going to contain 4. So what will be the index value of W? Anyone? What will be the index value of W? Come on, let's see. What will be the index value of the letter W? Okay, awesome. It will be 6. Exactly. Because the index value of fifth will be occupied by the space that is in between, right? So this space will going to consume the index value of 5, and W will going to have the index value of 6, and so on and so forth. So in this scenario, if you look very carefully, none of the two characters is sharing the same index ID, right? All the characters is having a specific index ID which is absolutely unique. So in order to find out, if I say I want a character with the index value 6, so in that case I will be getting W only, right? It will never going to happen is that I will be getting D, L, R or something else, right? This is known as a positive indexing. This is known as positive indexing, right? Because over here all the numbers are positive. If you see this graph, and positive indexing over here, if you see, it goes from left to right. If you see, this is your left, and it is going on right hand side, 0, 1, 2, 3, so on and so forth. Similarly over here, if you see, the indexing is going from left to right, the positive indexing, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, so on and so forth, right? When we talk about the concept of negative indexing, if you see, the negative indexing goes from right to left. Yes or no? Yes or no? The negative indexing is going from right to left, and it starts from -1. So what happens is you will have a negative indexing part as well in Python. So from here we'll start the indexing. From here we're going to start the negative indexing. Over here it will going to start with -1. It will going to start with -2, then so on and so forth, -3, so on and so forth. Okay, so that means 6, let's say 7, 8, 9, and then we have 10. So what it means is that you can, if you want to refer or if you want to get this character, right, you can either go with positive indexing. In that case the indexing will be 10, or you can go with the negative indexing. In that case your indexing will be -1. So each characters has a indexing both as positive and negative. Till here is it clear? Till here is it clear? Yes or no? Is it clear till here? Yes or no? Come on, guys. Perfect. So now let's try to implement this concept in our Google Colab. Okay. We will not be having 0 in negative, right? You never have seen -0. Have you ever seen -0? No, right? Because 0 is neither negative nor positive. So to make a number as negative, we have a form, we have a convention that we put this negative sign. But since if you put negative sign in front of 0, it is absolutely wrong. It is absolutely wrong, right? You cannot say plus 0 minus 0. 0 is 0, it is neither positive nor negative. So for the sake of the convention, so that we don't have to provide minus 0, we put a bar over here and consider 0 as a positive number, and we go to we make it as a positive side. Is this clear? Is this clear? Okay, perfect. So now over here, if you want to access any item, similarly each items or element has been assigned with the index value. If I go with the positive indexing, okay, if I go with the positive indexing, see, limit is different thing. Okay, limit is absolutely different thing. And when we talk about the number system, zero is considered neither as positive nor as negative, and we never use minus zero anywhere, right? Cool. Over here we have five elements, that is potatoes, peas, tomatoes, beans, and apples, right? Now if I want to access the elements such as tomatoes, I have to go with the process of indexing, and we have two ways. One is your positive indexing and other is your negative indexing. If we go with a positive indexing, then you have you guys have to tell me what will be the index value of the element tomatoes. What will be the positive index value of the element tomatoes? Come on. It will be 2. Exactly, it will be 2. Because potatoes is 0, peas is 1, tomatoes is 2. Right? So over here we are going to say 2. So see, we are getting the element tomatoes. Now if I want to access tomatoes with the negative indexing, so what will be the negative index value of the element tomatoes? What will be the negative index value of the element tomatoes? It will be minus 3, exactly, because it will be minus 1, minus 2, and minus 3. So over here, veggies, minus 3. So you can see we can access tomatoes still here, right? So the concept of indexing will be there for other data structure as well, and indexing will help you out a lot whenever you are working on data analysis or you're working in machine learning. So indexing is a major part. Okay, so this how you can work with your list. You can create a list. You can add some elements to a list. If you want to add some elements, let's say currently I am having all these elements, and suddenly I remember that, oh, I have to add one more fruit in this list. So what I can do, so we have a function known as append function. So how to use the append function? You have to first define the name of the list, that is veggies dot append function, and in this append you have to write the element. So element is kiwi. Now when I am going to execute this element kiwi is being added to the current list veggies. So now if we search for veggies and if we run this, you will going to find out that kiwi is being added to our list. Is this clear? Is this clear? Okay, so this how there's a lot of functions that you can perform with the list, but due to the time shortage, this is the only concept about list that we are going to talk about, right? Let's move on to the next data structure, that is your tuple. Okay, that is your tuple. Now tuple is also a data structure. Tuple is also used to store different data types, different data of different data types. And the syntax to store inside a tuple is that in list you were storing the data between the square bracket, right? In tuple you will be storing the data between the round bracket. That's the difference between, that's the one difference between list and tuple. This is also an important interview question. People ask that what is the difference between list and tuple. So the major difference between these two is that list is mutable, okay, whereas tuple is immutable. When I say mutable and immutable, it means mutable means changeable, changeable. Okay, that means if you add something to a list, you can change the values afterward as well. Okay, for an example, let me show you, such as peas. I am having this peas over here, and I suddenly realize that instead of peas I have to write pizza. Suddenly I remember that instead of peas I have to write pizza. Now I have to edit this. Edit, update, or alter or modify. I have to update this to pizza. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to refer the concept of indexing. So I say veggies. What is the positive index value of the element peas? What is the positive index value of the element peas? Anyone? It's 1. Exactly, this is 0, this is 1. So let's try this. 1, and you can see it's peas. Right now I have to change this to pizza, so I'm going to use the assignment operator, and I'm going to say pizza. So from now onwards I'm commanding Python that from now onwards whatsoever element is having the index 1 will now be replaced by the element pizza. So now if I run this, and now if I say print me all the values of veggies, you will see peas has been replaced with pizza. Right, so this means that on the time of the creation of the list, let's suppose you have defined all the elements, right, and afterwards you want to update any elements, you can do this in list. That's why we say list is mutable. However, tuple is immutable. Tuple is immutable. That means once the tuple is being created, once the tuple is been created, then you cannot update any value in a tuple. Is this clear? Is this clear? If you want to update any value in the tuple, then you have to use the concept of typecasting, for which you have to convert the tuple to list, because we know updation can be performed in a list. Then you will going to convert it from list, then you will going to change the value and then return it back to the tuple. Okay, is this clear? Is this clear? Okay, so let me show you how to create a tuple. So let's set up the same, let's take the same elements. So currently it's a list or a tuple. Come on, currently it's a list or a tuple. Is it a list or a tuple? It's a list, because we know that the data is being contained within the square bracket. Now in order to make this a tuple, what you need to do is change the square bracket to the round bracket. That's it. Now this is a tuple. So now if I print this and if I print the type of tuple as well, you will going to see the data type is your tuple. Now this is tuple. Okay, if you want to access, let's suppose if I say tup1, right, so I'll be getting this pizza and so on and so forth. So indexing is working perfectly fine. But now if I say change this pizza to peas, do you think it will going to happen? Will this code going to work out? Yes or no? Will this piece of code gonna work out? Yes or no? No, because list is immutable. We cannot change any values in a list, sorry, in a tuple. Right? So over here you can see tuple object does not support item assignment. You cannot change any value in tuple. So if the tuple is being created, you cannot change the value. Although if you want to change the value, what you need to do is you have to convert this tuple into a list using the concept of typecasting, change the value of the particular element like we did over here, and then use the typecasting again to change back the value to tuple. Okay, and the example starts from that, where if the question arises where do we use this tuple, we use this tuple in our software development whenever we want to define a value that we don't want to change. Okay, we want a specific value that we don't want to change anyhow, then in that case we use tuple. Is this clear? Is this clear? Is this clear? Yes or no? Okay, so we have a question from code bulletin. This says that tuple is equals to 1 2 4 5, and then I can do tuple dot append 3. Why does this up? Because in your tuple you have an element, and that particular element, it's a list itself, right? If you're performing the append function, you're performing on not on tuple, you're performing on the element, and that element is your list. So that append function will going to work out. Getting this? Getting this? Yes or no? Awesome. So let's move on to the next type of a data type, that is your sets. Okay, this is the same set that you might have studied during your school days as well. Only difference over here. So let me copy the previous thing. Copy, paste. Now for set, you need to remember two things. Okay, the first thing is that the data should be within the curly braces. That the data should be within the curly braces. This is the first thing, right? Second thing is that a set contains only a unique value. A set contains only a unique value or the different value. That means, let's say, if we have a list, okay, in this list I can have any number of values anytime. If I say 1 1 2 1 1 2 and 3, over here you can see in this list number of items are repeating, right? Number of items are repeating, right? Can you give an example of conversation of tuple into list? Yes, you can use a typecasting. Let's suppose this is your tuple, right? And you need to typecast this to a list. So let's say list 1 is equals to list of tuple. Okay. So now what will going to happen? If you see at list 1, this is all the values from tuple, and now it has been changed to list, right? Now you can change the value. Now if you want, you can change the value of pizza to piece, like this. Now if you see list 1, you will going to find out the value has been updated. Now what you need to do is you need to again do the typecasting. So how you are going to do? Say you're going to say tup is equals to tuple list 1. That's it. Okay, now if you see the tup, you will going to find out that tuple has been updated. The value in the tuple has been updated, right? So this is the only way how you can update the value to the element. Okay, is this clear, everyone? Is this clear, everyone? Perfect. Now over here, list can contain duplicate values. Over here you can see all these are the duplicate values. One has already been occurred. Now again 2 times one has been occurring, right? But this concept is perfectly fine in list. We don't do anything. Okay, if we try the same thing in tuple, this is allowed. Okay, this is allowed in tuple as well. You can have multiple values, doesn't matter if it's might be repeating or not, right? But in set, as soon as you will going to assign this value, as soon as you say the value is this, right? What will going to happen? As soon as you're going to execute your code, automatically your set will going to become as 1 2 3, right? Because the concept of set says that it will not going to contain any duplicate value. As soon as it find the unique value, it will going to take it, and as soon as it says that it find a duplicate value, it will going to simply ignore it. So even though if you assign set as with this value, your final set will be having the value of 1 2 3. All the values that are duplicate will be removed. Is this clear? Is this clear? Yes or no? Is this clear? If your screen is not clear, then kindly upgrade the resolution please to 720. Okay, perfect. So let's take this example itself. Let me copy the set from here. Let's say set 1 is equals to this. So see, at the time of the creation of a set, I am providing sum of the duplicate values. So let me run this. However, if I print the value, if I want to see what are the values in the set, you can find out there are only three values, that is 1, 2 and 3, right? Because set only contains a unique value. So moreover, whenever you are doing programming, in some scenarios when it comes like you have to have only unique values, you have to contain unique values. In that case, you can use set. In that case, you can use set. Is this clear? Is this clear, everyone? Yes or no? Okay, perfect. Now heading towards our last data structure, that is your dictionary. That is your dictionary. Okay. Now this dictionary is exactly the same as a real world dictionary, right? Let's see how exactly a real world dictionary works. Now let's suppose this is our dictionary. The pattern that a dictionary follows, okay, the pattern that the dictionary follows is, first you will going to have a word, okay, and then the meaning of the word, right? We use dictionary to find the meaning of the word, not the word of the meaning. Yes or no? Yes or no? Is this clear? We use a dictionary to find the meaning of the word, not the word of the meaning. Yes or no? You will use a dictionary to find out what exactly is the meaning of a pencil. You will never going to find use dictionary to find out the word that has the meaning a wooden object that is having a graphite inside it, right? And the second rule is that in a dictionary all meaning can be same, meaning can be repeat, meaning can be same, doesn't matter, but this word will be unique. This word will be unique. It will never going to happen that if a word pencil is appearing once, it will going to appear twice. Yes or no? Yes or no? Getting this or not? Okay. And the third rule is that all the words in a dictionary is being arranged in the alphabetical order, right? All the words in a dictionaries are arranged in the alphabetical order. So suppose if you want to find out the meaning of a word that starts from the alphabet A, right? So you have to go to the starting page and find out the A portion, right? It will never going to happen that on the first page you might be getting the word starting from P, then you have from Z and so on and so forth. So in a dictionary, the word is been arranged in the alphabetical order, right? This is the fourth point that you need to remember. Now, the last point that you need to remember is whenever you define a dictionary, currently we know that we follow the word meaning part, right? So we call this as a key value pair in Python. We call this word as key and the meaning of this word as the value. Okay. So what we do is whenever you define a dictionary, you use the curly braces. However, this curly braces should follow the pattern of key and value, right? So we have the key, we have the value. So if it follows a key value pair, then it will be a dictionary. Is this clear? Is this clear? Yes or no? Till here, is it clear? Yes or no? Come on, guys, please respond. Okay, perfect. So let's execute. Let's see how we can execute this. So now I'm going to say dictionary is equals to curly braces 1. So now tell me, is it a dictionary or is it a set? Is it a dictionary or is it a set? Come on. Is it a dictionary or is it a set? It's a set. Exactly. It's a set, right? Because over here we are not following the key value pair. Now, if I say pencil and now let's say 23 and we have car, let's say 45. Let's run this. And now if we try to find out the type of the variable dictionary, you will going to say it's dict, right? That means it's a dictionary. And let's see how exactly a dictionary looks like. And you can see this is how a dictionary looks like. And one more thing you might have noticed is that while defining it, I have written pencil at the first, then the car, right? I have written pencil at the first and then the car. But after executing this, car has been automatically been assigned as the position 0 and then the pencil, because we have seen that a dictionary is always in the alphabetical order. They are arranged in the alphabetical order. So car will going to come first and then pencil. Is this clear? Okay. And if you want to check any value, let's say you want to check out the value of 45, sorry, a value of car. So you will going to say dictionary and you will going to specify cars. You will be getting the value of that particular key, right? If you want to specify all the key, what all the keys do you have in your current dictionary, then you have to use the function keys. You will be getting all the keys over here, right? Similarly, we have the function known as values that will going to give you all the values that you currently have in a dictionary. So you can see you have 23 and 45. You have 23 and 45. Is this clear, everyone? Till here, is this clear, everyone? Yes or no? Okay. Is this clear? Awesome. So now we are going towards, this is all about the data structure, guys. Okay, this is all about the Python data structure. But this is not it. You have different methods. You have different methods or operation that you can perform with different data structures, such as list, dictionary, tuple, and sets. List is widely used, and most of the time you will be using list in Python if you code in Python, if you make some softwares. And then you have your sets, dictionary, and tuples, so on and so forth. Okay, perfect. Now we are going to understand about the conditional statement. Conditional statements. Okay. Now, in a very brief manner, conditional. What is a conditional statement? Statements that has some conditions or that follows according to some conditions. Okay. Is this clear? Is this clear? Okay. Now, for an example, let's take an example. Uh, let's say you are visiting to your relative house, right? Before visiting to your relative house, let's suppose you are a kid right now and you're visiting to your relative house, and before visiting, you know that while returning back, your relative, your uncle will going to give you some amount or some money as a token of gift or appreciation, so on and so forth. So before going on, you have already made a scenario that if my uncle will going to give me, let's say you say if my uncle will gonna give me, let's say, 1,000 rupees. Okay, if my uncle will gonna give me 1,000 rupees, then I am going to purchase a remote control car. Okay. Otherwise, if my uncle, let's suppose if my uncle gives me 500 rupees, then I am going to purchase a Beyblade. I hope you guys know what is a Beyblade, right? Okay, perfect. Now, then another condition you put that if my uncle gave me anything, if my uncle gave me anything that is greater than greater than 10 rupees, but at the same time lesser than, at the same time, let's say 10 rupees, let's say 10 rupees only, 10 rupees to 100 rupees, then I'm going to purchase, let's say you are going to purchase trump cards. Okay, let's say 500 to 1000, 100 to 500, and let's say 0, not 0, let's make it to 10 to 99. Okay. Otherwise, if all this condition will not going to happen, if my uncle will not going to give me anything, or if they give me anything that is below 10 rupees, what will going to happen? Otherwise I am going to cry. I am going to cry, right? So these are the conditions. These are the condition. If my uncle will going to give me some amount that is between 501 to 1000, then I am going to purchase RC car. So over here, if you look very carefully, this is the condition. This is the condition, right? And based on this condition, you are providing a statement. This is your condition. If something happen, then you will going to do this, right? So this is your condition and this is your statement. So this is known as a conditional statement, right? In Python, whenever you want to work with conditional statement, you have some keywords. You have keywords as if, elif, and else. Okay, so if is very simple. Over here we have used if, right? Else means otherwise. Else means otherwise. Okay, just replace the word else with the otherwise, right? Now the syntax for the conditional statement is you have to use the if keyword to tell the Python interpreter that you are going to use if, right? Now let's say amount. Amount is a variable and it could be anything. Okay, it could be anything. Now you are saying that if, and then you will going to provide a condition followed by a colon, then you will going to provide the statement. Then you will going to provide the statement, right? That means that if this condition is true, then only the statement will going to follow up. If this condition is true, then only interpreter will going to come to this statement to read it. Otherwise interpreter will going to go towards the another statement, right? Else means otherwise. If this statement is false, then you have to go to the else part and then you have statement, right? This is how a simple conditional statement looks like. However, if you have multiple conditions, if you have multiple conditions, since over here you can see we have multiple conditions, right? So over here we are using if, that's good. Again you have one condition, another you have another condition, right? So to tackle this up, we have elif. Elif is used for the multiple condition. So we are going to say elif, then again the condition, and then again the statement, and so on and so forth. This is how a conditional statement syntax looks like. Is this clear to everyone? Yes or no? Is this clear to everyone? Yes or no? Come on. Okay, perfect. So let's implement the same logic in our Python code. So let's say we are going to define a variable such as amount. This amount could be anything. Okay, this amount could be anything. So we're going to say if the amount is greater than 1000 rupees, sorry, if the amount is greater than 501 rupees, and at the same time amount is less than 1000 rupees, less than equal to, let's say less than equal to, and let's make this as 500, or 501 greater than equal to. Okay, so what we are going to do, we are going to purchase an RC car, right? This is our first condition. So see, this is a condition. If the amount is between 501 to 1000, we are going to purchase the RC car. Now the next condition, elif, if the amount is greater than equal to 100, and at the same time if the amount is less than equal to 500, then what we are going to do, we are going to purchase Beyblade, right? Another part, we also have another condition, so we are going to use elif. If the amount is greater than equal to 10 rupees, and at the same time if the amount is lesser than equals to 100 rupees, let's say this is 101, what we are going to do? We are going to purchase trump cards. Else, what we are going to do? We are going to cry. We are going to cry. Is this clear? Is this clear, everyone? So now if I say the amount is 750, let's say the amount is 750. So what do you think will be the output of this conditional statement? Will I'm gonna buy an RC car or Beyblade trump card, or will I'm going to cry? Come on. What will be the output? RC car, okay. Let's see. RC car, let's see. Let's see this. This is an RC car, definitely, right? How about if my uncle is a bit miser? Okay, so he says that okay, take this 350 instead of 750. So what do you think will I'm gonna buy? Is it an can I still buy an RC car, or I have to switch towards Beyblade? Come on, will it be an RC car or a Beyblade? Exactly, I have to go with Beyblade because my uncle has given me 350 rupees. Let's see. It's a Beyblade, right? And so on and so forth. You can do this. Similarly, you can use the conditional statement that some student says that they want certificates for this boot camp, right? So over here you have a condition to fulfill. Over here you have a condition to fulfill. What are the condition? What are the two conditions? That if first condition is you have to attend all the 7 days boot camp, so that means you have to have 7 days attendance. That's the first condition. When the first condition is satisfied, the second condition comes up that you have to submit a project. If you have submit a project, if you have full attendance, then only you will be getting your certificate, otherwise you are not going to get that. Getting this? Getting this, right? So let's say your attendance, let me set this to true for now, and let's say project, you have done the project as well, so let's set this to true. We are going to say if attendance, if you have 7 days attendance, and if you have project, if you have done the project as well at the same time, then you will be getting the certificate. You will be getting the certificate. Okay, else let me copy this, print this, not be getting the certificate, else will not be. Okay, let's suppose we have a person, who says that I don't have 7 days attendance, but I have submitted the project. Do you think they will going to get the certificate? Yes or no? If we have a student who says that I have submitted the project but I don't have 7 days attendance, will that student be getting the certificate or not? No. Okay, let's see what Python says. Python is saying that you will not be getting the certificate. I'm sorry, you will not be getting the certificate. Let's take another scenario. A student comes up and they says that I have attended all the session, I have submitted the attendance as well, but I have failed to submit the project. So do you think that that particular student will also going to get the certificate or not? Will they gonna get that? Let's see what Python says. Python says no, you will not be getting the certificate, right? However, we have some students who says that I have attended all the session and provided the attendance. At the same time, I have submitted the project within the given deadline. So what do you think? Will you be getting the certificate or not? Will that particular student will be getting the certificate or not? Yes, let's see what Python says. Congratulations. In that case, you will be receiving the certificate. Now, this is a two thing. The first thing we have understood about the concept, and second thing, Anyone who is having the doubt how you will be getting the certificate, this is also resolved, right? Is this clear, everyone? Is this clear, everyone? Perfect. So we are going to till here we are going to wrap this up. Tomorrow we are going to start with the loop part, and we are going to start with machine learning. Then we are going towards the linear regression theoretical part, then the practical part, and finally the project part. Okay, this was the end of day 3. Let me share the attendance link, and before sharing the attendance link, let me share one announcement with you that currently we have a vacancy for a blockchain and solidity developer. If you guys think that you are suitable for this job, or anyone you can refer to, please kindly do that. So these are the preferences over here. The person should have a great resume, should be having an experience in full stack and solidity development, and has an enthusiast towards the uh, blockchain. And they can, we are good with the remote work as well. If they want to work from office, they can come to office as well. If they want to work from remote, they can work from remote as well. If you think you are suitable for this particular position, or if you think that there are some people who are looking for jobs for such domain, then kindly share this form to with them as well. Let me copy and paste this here, so you can check this out. Okay, and now the moment that everyone is waiting for, that is your attendance for the day 2. Okay, so here you go with your attendance link, and kindly don't forget to mark your attendance, because you've already seen what will going to happen if you will not be having 7 days of attendance. Till here, is it clear? Till here, is it clear? Yes or no? Perfect. So now it's a doubt session. So if you have any doubt, you can ask. Otherwise, we can wrap this session up. If you guys have any doubt, you can ask. Come on. If you guys have any doubt, you can ask. This is a second day attendance link itself, right? Tomorrow we are going to provide the third day and the fourth day link combinedly. Okay. Day third link and day fourth attendance link will be provided tomorrow combinedly. Okay. Is this clear, everyone? Attendance has been already been given. Kindly look at that, please. It's a day 2 attendance only. Attendance link has been pinged on the chat section, and on the top of the chat section, please see that. See, in Python, we don't have the concept of this bracket system. Okay, we don't have this concept. Like suppose currently we are using this if, so on and so forth, right? In other programming language, after defining this, you have to use this bracket. That inside the bracket you have to do that. But this is not the part of the syntax in Python. Okay. Let me provide the blockchain link again over here. Okay, so this is a blockchain link. If any one of you are interested, or do you know anyone else who's looking for such position, kindly refer to them, please. What should be the good project to put in the resume for the final year student? So it depends upon the domain you choose. Okay, it depends upon the domain. If you are choosing a data science domain, so there are various different projects that you can take up. You can take NLP projects, you can take any of the problem. Let's suppose you want to define image processing system, or using the computer vision, you can define sign language, or you can attain a sign language. You can create that project as well. So it totally dependent upon your domain that you're going to ahead of that. Do you have any other question? The notes link and the Jamboard link will be shared with you on the last day. Okay, the Google Notebook link and the Jamboard link will be shared with you on the last day. So this, see, slicing is something that to breaking. Okay, tomorrow we're going to understand about slicing, because this concept needs to be discussed among all the people as well, right? Attendance link has already been given. In dictionary, the values are according to the keys only. Okay, they are arranged in the form of the keys only. Okay, let me provide this link again. This is your attendance link. Attendance link has been given. We have already discussed about the arrays and the data types in this in the starting of this bootcamp itself, right? Any doubt? Any doubt? If you guys have any doubt, kindly ping. No, we are not going to talk about the non-primitive data structure because this is a boot camp, right? So in this boot camp, we cannot cover everything, right? So let me post the attendance link again. This is your attendance link. How to use a Google Colab? This thing has already been explained to you on day one. So kindly refer to the day one recording so that you can easily understand how to use Google Colab. Day three attendance link and day fourth attendance link will be combiningly shared with you tomorrow. Okay. What should I do to become campus ambassador? So you can head towards the DevTown website, and over there you will going to find out the campus ambassador section where you can fill up your details and you can submit the form so that we will going to review it, and then if you are selected, then we're going to definitely have a talk with you regarding that. Which type of machine learning project we should do in our I missed that, in a fourth year student? So if you are a fourth year student, then definitely you should, if you want to go, you can go ahead with unsupervised learning, or you can take an Amazon data set to perform all the clustering and a priori algorithm that it does. So clustering will definitely going to help you out in that project, right? Anything else? Any more doubts? Perfect. In that case, I think we can wrap this up. Sure. So thank you guys for joining in. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful evening. Enjoy your weekend. Let's meet tomorrow with our day four. And tomorrow we're gonna discuss about the machine learning and your loops part. Okay. What types of projects should I do for DS? See, DS is a wide domain, right? DA, you cannot do a project that is for DS, but you can do a project for machine learning. You can do a project for deep learning, so on and so forth. So, but if you want to do go for the DS, then you can create a website that implements, or the backend will be from you are taking the machine learning model and integrating it with the help of some other web framework of Python, then that will be a DS application that you can have. ML versus web development, what should we choose? It's totally depend upon your interest, right? So ML is absolutely different and web is absolutely different, right? So it's totally depend upon your interests, that what do you want to choose and what are you interested in, right? In that case, I cannot help you with, right? They both are good at their own pace. What about array and data type bootcamp? I'm not sure about that. Definitely, Shorish sir will going to come, and from next boot camp onwards, I believe that he will be taking that. Right? can we change the domain after 2 to 3 years? Are you talking about the website domain, or are you talking about the general domain such as machine learning, web development, software engineering, and so on and so forth? Perfect. I think that we can wrap this up. So thank you guys for joining in. Let's meet tomorrow. Till then, have a great time. See you all soon and be safe. Thank you so much for joining in. Have a great weekend ahead. Thank you.